When tall buildings are built, it's a big deal. But you know what's even more amazing? When these huge buildings are taken down. This is especially true in crowded big cities. Today we are diving into the world of the world's tallest building demolitions. It's time for some demolition fun at superstructures. Number 8. Ocean Tower. Our first tower was situated on South Padre Island in Texas, not far from SpaceX's new Starship facility. It stood at 150 meters, which is just a bit over 375 feet tall before it came crashing down in 2009. The building was originally planned to be a luxurious place with condos, a swimming pool, a gym, and even a spa room for people to relax. However, after 2 years of construction, problems began to appear. Cracks in the tower's support columns. What's more, the tower's base had sunk almost 16 inches into the ground, earning it the nickname the Leaning Tower of South Padre. Even though the builders hoped to fix it, the damage was too severe. Engineers determined that repairing it would be too costly and impractical. So in December 2009, a company called Controlled Demolition Inc. safely brought down the building in a controlled implosion. This $75 million structure was the largest concrete building ever demolished in this way at that time. The park near the Leaning Tower was temporarily closed to keep everyone safe during the demolition, but people could still watch the skyscraper crumble from nearby hotels and restaurants. Number 7. Landmark Tower. Also in Texas, we had the Landmark Tower standing at 380 feet, or around 116 meters in Fort Worth. When this skyscraper first opened its doors to the public back in 1957, it was the tallest building in the city. At the very top of the tower, there was a huge revolving digital clock, which was the biggest of its kind globally. In its early days, the skyscraper was fully occupied, but after 30 years, at the end of its life, it was entirely deserted. Then, in March 2000, a tornado struck the building, causing significant damage. The decision was made to demolish it. So, in 2006, the Midwest Wrecking Company cleared out 15 blocks of the city for the implosion. With the help of a little over 360 pounds of explosives, it took just a couple of minutes for the tower to crumble down. Number 6. AFE Tower. The AFE Tower in Frankfurt, Germany stood at a towering height of 116 meters, equivalent to 382 feet, making it the tallest building ever demolished in Europe. This tower was once part of the campus at Goethe University. The initial plan was to carefully dismantle it piece by piece. However, due to numerous complaints from residents about the time-consuming process, they opted for an explosive demolition. The new approach drew significant media attention, and more than 30,000 people gathered to witness the implosion in 2014. With a thunderous noise, the concrete framework around the building's core was the first to come down. Moments later, 2 controlled blasts on the 5th and 17th floors separated the building core into 2 parts, one falling southward and the other to the north. After a few years of being vacant, a modern residential and hotel tower known as 140 West took its place, offering luxury apartments on the upper floors and hotel rooms below. Number 5. The Golden Flower Building. In Xi'an City, China, a towering structure known as the Golden Flower Building, measuring 118 meters or just over 387 feet in height, was demolished in November 2015. This marked the tallest skyscraper ever to be demolished in the country. The building was originally constructed in 1996, but had remained unused for decades. Legally owned by Jinhua Pharmaceutical Factory. Due to the prohibitive cost of renovation, China decided to opt for an explosive demolition. The process began with the excavation of a 13-foot deep trench around the building's perimeter to minimize the impact of the implosion. Utilizing 1.4 tons of dynamite and 12,000 detonators, the towering structure crumbled into pieces. Although the demolition itself was swift, the cleanup of the debris piles, which reached a height of 66 feet, took over 70 days. Following the site's clearance, construction of a new commercial complex commenced, featuring retail stores and residential spaces. Number 4. J.L. Hudson's Department Store. Erected way back in 1911, the J.L. Hudson's department store in Detroit, Michigan, witnessed one of the most extraordinary demolitions in history. This colossal building housed a wide range of establishments, including retail stores and office spaces. When the department store, Towering at 134 meters or 440 feet, originally opened, it held the title of the tallest department store globally. After more than 80 years in operation, the J.L. Hudson's department store met its demise in 1998. An audience of 20,000 people gathered to witness the implosion. The explosion's force was so immense that it shattered the windows of nearby abandoned retail stores and unintentionally caused damage to the Detroit People Mover, an elevated train system in the city. Subsequently, construction began in the area for a towering skyscraper standing at 912 feet or 278 meters in height. Number 3. Brayton Point Power Station. Although this next demolition isn't technically a building, it was nothing short of epic. The Brayton Point Power Station, a coal power facility located in Somerset, Massachusetts, initially commenced operations in the 1960s and continued until May 2017. Several years after the plant's closure, the facility's owner decided to demolish 2 of its cooling towers in 2019. This event established a world record for the tallest cooling towers ever imploded, with each tower towering at 500 feet or about 152 meters. These towers were only a few feet taller than the cooling tower at the Trojan nuclear power plant, which became the first cooling tower ever demolished in 2006. People from all over New England flocked to the Brayton Point Power Station to witness the demolition live. Over the subsequent months, the crew progressively demolished various sections of the power station. The massive amount of scrap metal generated led to a series of fires a few days after these implosions, adding an extra layer of intensity to the demolitions. Number 2. Mina Plaza. Consisting of 4 towers reaching 165 meters or 541 feet into the sky, holds the distinction of being the tallest building ever demolished. Construction on the Mina Plaza began in 2007, but was halted in 2012 due to a dispute with the owners. While there were plans to resume construction in 2014, financing challenges led to the building being abandoned. In 2020, the government in the capital city decided to demolish the structures. This decision was not only due to their unsightly appearance, but was also part of a broader effort to redevelop the port of Mina Zayed. The demolition team took extensive precautions to ensure the safety of the residents in the United Arab Emirates capital, Abu Dhabi. They carefully assessed the building and surrounding areas to execute the implosion securely. Using 13,000 pounds of plastic explosives, the towers gracefully crumbled to the ground. 3 of the buildings were demolished first, and after a brief 10 seconds, all 4 stood as colossal piles of rubble. Our top pick, the power station Westerholt chimney, stands at a towering 337 meters or 1,105 feet, making it the tallest controlled structure ever demolished. While there are indeed taller chimney demolitions, Westerholt claims the highest spot. This chimney was erected in 1981 in Germany and, after the power station's decommissioning in 2005, met its inevitable end a year later. The demolition involved 2 blasts, one at the base and another in the middle. The explosive event drew such a massive crowd of spectators eager to record and photograph it that it led to a slight delay in the scheduled demolition. Eventually, the once mighty chimney was reduced to a colossal mound of debris. We'd love to hear from you. Please share which demolition impressed you the most. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Superstructures for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.